Ahem. Okay. What's up, guys? It's Kami, and this is day 9 of Kamimas. We're recording this ahead of time. Thank God I actually had the list that time. It's the least favorite stand video because I did do a top 5 favorite stands video when I first started the channel back in October. So you guys can go check that out. I'll probably annotate that like at the end card of the video because I probably won't remember to just get the link for it and put it in the description. And y'all don't read shit anyways. I'm joined by my boy Kaleb. Kaleb, say hi.
Do you understand?
There you go. I understand. So we're talking about least favorite stands. I was thinking about doing this top 5, top 10 fashion, but for the sake of Kamimas and for the sake of myself trying to edit other things, since we are recording this a couple days ahead, I just thought we'd sit down and we'd just talk about shit that we don't like. Well, stands we don't like, because me talking about shit that I don't like is something else coming up soon. Yeah, y'all are gonna like that video. But anyways, Caleb, do you want to start?
Okay. So I don't like this stand in particular because the whole how he is shown up basically, and it's like there's so many things going on with it. Yellow temperance.
Ooh.
And it's like it's like I would like it if there wasn't, because the way that it was showed up was pretty odd. Like I liked the Kakyoin when it was actually when he's taking over the first he took over Kakyoin's form, and then but there was the whole thing where if it eats more things it becomes bigger and stronger, and I was like, I didn't get any like exactly how would it work, because it's just like, okay, it's cold, it's just shooting at like it's get all spiky and all, but there was nothing really, like the whole thing was just okay, directly attack the stand user. That was the main thing.
Yeah.
By itself it was a really odd stand for me.
Yeah, I feel it. And actually, the first one I have on my list too is a part 3 stand, which, again, a lot of people, I've talked about this before, a lot of people, give part 3 shit when it comes to, well, pretty much the whole part. A lot of people either like it or they don't like it. I like it. But a lot of people give a shit for some of the stands because, I always take this into mind, and people say, oh, well, no excuses. Well, it's not really an excuse. It's just Araki trying out stands for the first time. Since he's trying it out for the first time, he's being experimental with a lot of things. So part 3 kind of has a lot of, people's least favorite ones.
Yeah.
Because, he's trying out ideas and shit, and, like, by later parts, he's figured out more what he wants to do with stands or how he wants them to work. And a lot of the part 3 stands are really weird. My first one was Numb, which is the stand for Oingo that lets him swap his face and scent.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Because there's another stand that's similar to, well, yeah, Yellow Tempers is kind of similar to this actually, because
exactly.
Take on the same form of people, except not to the same extent. Because Numb is just an outside appearance change, where Oingo, was still Oingo, and they just thought he was Jotaro because he looked similar to Jotaro. And I don't know, it was just like really weird. I thought it was kind of funny, I guess, since Oingo Boingo are supposed to be the comedy relief characters of the part, or like that little scene or whatever, just their little mini arc, I guess, is like more on the comedy side, and it's meant to be goofy and hey, there's explosions, hey, there's dumb jokes here with Joseph, hey, look, I can put like 20 cigarettes into my mouth because I'm supposed to be Jotaro and inhale and put them out and shit. I'm not even gonna question why they do that, but I don't know, it was weird. And like seeing him like stretch his face up and shit, and like actually grab like the top of his head and like his jawline just so like he could like rearrange his face. It was really weird and really ugly. And I don't know. And that was just like, it's just one of those things where I get what it's trying to do, and it's not hard to understand at all. But I don't know. Normally I'm like a sucker for cheesy comedy and stuff like this, and anime and manga. Like I like a lot of the dumb jokes in Dragon Ball where it'll be like, hey, you stepped on shit, haha, and and they just like laugh at it. And I don't mind that stupid comedy, but when it comes to like Numb and just the way it's presented, I don't know. I'm not a fan. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
All right. Well, okay. For the next one, I have Strength, which is the ape, the giant boat.
Oh my god.
And it's mostly because it's just a boat. It's like, because out of all things, it's like, okay. What confused me is that, okay, so you know how Rat Pack, like all rats have the same stand basically, apparently, and it's like, okay, so does this apply too with the apes? Like, is that what's gonna go on? But aside from that, it's like it's an ape or an orangutan, I guess. That was an orangutan.
Like a gorilla or some shit. He's like orange.
He was red. Yeah, he was orange and like. So I'm guessing an orangutan.
That's a big guy. He was big.
Yeah. He was trying to attack a little chick. Yo, that was crazy. Jesus Christ. That was
Let's not forget he was reading Playboy, smoking a cigarette on a boat.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
He was gonna use it as
I'll
help,
be the
but
guy to
fact
make that joke. That's a grown ass man. That's not a damn ape.
Exactly.
Like,
Fucking.
I was actually thinking about putting that one on my list too, because again, it's one of those things where it's like cheesy and it's like funny because they just get on this boat and they have another fight on the same boat. They have the dark blue moon fight where Jotaro's fighting like the shark Venus flytrap looking thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, they're just on the boat and they're like, all right, now we can sit down and relax. And then like shit on the boat starts happening. It's like, oh look, the stand is the boat and the monkey's the user. Hit the monkey. It's like what?
Exactly.
Rise
Monkey
of the
can
Planet
go
of the
through
Apes.
Boat and everything is just flowing all everywhere through the boat, just going through every wall and all that shit. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, man.
Like, I'm not one for, seeing animals get beat up, but I was really satisfied watching this damn gorilla get rapid punched.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah.
it's so goofy. And when you take it out of context, like, somebody were to sit down and, come to your house or whatever, and you're watching, like, Star Wars Crusaders on TV, right? Let's say Toonami gets to that point, and, your boy's over, and you guys are just chilling. He's never seen JoJo, right? And you turn on TV, and it's this episode, and he just sees, like, this, like, gorilla with, like, the power of having this boat show up. Like, how do you explain that to him?
That's. Oh my god.
Hey, like,
so. Yeah, it's all like, oh, so who's the enemy? It's like, oh, the boat.
The boat.
The boat that they got on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would they get on it if they know it's an enemy?
They
didn't know it's an enemy.
They thought something else. No.
So the boat's
and
like
who
just
controls the boat? It's
it's
a
a fucking monkey. Yeah, it's just a gorilla. It's like, how do I defend this? It's like, so this is JoJo. It's like, it's a really bizarre adventure. I don't know what to say.
But like you mentioned, Rat Pack. Does that mean that every gorilla has strength?
That'd be terrifying.
You get like Rise of the Planet of the Apes, except every gorilla and every monkey just throws out giant boats at people.
Jeez.
Dude,
how does that stand work outside of water?
That's a good question.
That'd be really odd.
That's some planet busting shit, dude. Like,
yeah, exactly. Just imagine
throwing.
Yeah, just all stab them. Yeah, just a giant boat just comes through and starts damaging. No one can see what's going on.
Like a road roller is, a pretty big deal, but like compared to that big ass like yacht, that ain't shit, dude.
Exactly.
Like, you can sit there and toss yachts at people that just infinitely spawn. What? Oh my god. I had Rat on my list, but since we covered that, I'll just ignore it. My next one is Survivor. Now, in case you guys don't know, in part 6, there's a lot of flashbacks with Dio and Poochie to give you kind of, more information on Poochie, more information on Dio. And most of these flashbacks are them talking about, philosophical bullshit and heaven and gravity and stands. And Poochie asked Dio about, what he thinks the weakest stand is. And Dio's like, oh, well, stands have, different potential varying on the person. Every stand can be useful in one way or another, whether or not a stand is used for combat or not. And, it all depends on the user. Then he brings up the one stand, and that's Survivor. And what it does is no matter who you are or, who you're friends with, who you're associated with, who your enemy is, it makes all the people within range just fight each other. So, like, this would be a really good ability if you could distinguish between, friend and foe, and you could just make the enemies fight each other. But Survivor doesn't do this. Survivor just makes everybody fight. Literally everybody fight. And the scene that they show it in, Jolina's thrown into like max security prison or whatever. And she's in there with this old Japanese guy that drinks his piss and a bunch of other weird people. And there's the guy with planet waves, which is like, giant meteors. I actually like that stand. Because meteors are just cool. It's not anything super special or anything like super crazy compared to, Survivor. And it's just meteors, but Survivor just makes everybody in that place want to fight each other. And you see like a bunch of prison guards going to take out, prisoners or whatever. And then these niggas just start like beating the shit out of each other. And I'm pretty sure like one guy like hits the dude like upside the head and his eyeball pops out. And it's like, it's really weird. And, it's just, the stand is so, it's so like useless. Like, you can't distinguish between friend or foe. If you could at least distinguish between who you were using with, it would be like a very powerful ability. But because you can't, it's just like it's just pointless. It's just there because it just makes everybody fight. And compared to every other stand that you say, oh, this is weak, there's always something you can do with the stand. But except Survivor, that's the only one that you can't just find a way to make it work because it makes everybody fight, no exceptions. So unless you're trying to start, a giant mosh pit, including yourself, then maybe it'll be, really good.
Oh shit, yeah. Oh, you could use that in war, but then like the
But
people start fighting.
everybody's still fighting.
Yeah, no, see, yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, exactly.
And even if
no.
you did, if the enemies started attacking themselves, your men would start attacking themselves too. That's why it's just like,
yeah, okay.
it's so, it's so useless. It's like, I wouldn't even say it's one of the things that I just like, hate or anything or like dislike, because these are just, least favorite stands for both of us. But it's just so useless that I can't find any excuse to like it. Like I say, I like Planet Waves because it's giant meteors and shit, right? If you can make meteors come down and hit people, I think that's cool. Dragon's Dream just told the old man, directions of where to hit. And Dragon's Dream also ended up getting them killed because he was like, you know what, I don't care. I'm not going to tell the old man where to strike from anymore. So he pretty much just gave up on himself. And that was like really weird, but it still worked to some extent. Survivor just didn't do shit but make everybody fight. It's like you just got everybody really mad at each other and everybody's got two.
It's like you seen Boondocks, right?
Yeah.
The nigga moment.
Nigga moment, yep.
Exactly. Just everyone just starts
stepping on your toes. And you end up
Everyone's
in a nigga moment.
busting each other up. God damn.
So
Alright.
bad.
So my next one, it's not because of the stand itself, or it's actually kind of that low-key, but it's like at the same time it's because of everyone, like everybody else. So it's Surface, the mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
You know that big ass screw in the head, like of Josuke, where you would easily
Nobody
notice
notices this.
That's what pisses me off. I'm like, hey, like if I see someone with a screw in their head, I'm gonna be like, okay, either there's something really fucking wrong with that dude's metal as shit. Yeah. And Josuke is not the metal guy. Like the rest of his fit is like, no, it's not. It's definitely not that. And
it's like punk rock.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like he's pretty cool. He like kind of 70s-ish too. Like this dude's groovy as fuck too. Like he has the heart, the peace sign. Like he's a cool guy. There's a big ass nail in the head, and by his like, I mean, the stand is good on like making. What is it? He basically gets to bring around anybody he wants or whatever the hell. He makes Josuke look. I mean, he doesn't actually make Josuke look like a dick because he actually, what is it? He was hella jealous of mannequin Josuke, which was still funny. Like, oh my god. But aside from that, I actually like when like, what is it? What was his name?
I believe it's
stand user.
I think it's Hazamada, or that might be the guy with the lock. I can never remember between. I can never remember his name. I could check it. I have the wiki pulled up here because I was double checking my stand abilities on this list so I don't confuse one of them with another. Let's see. Where's Surface? Toshizaku Hazamada. Okay, so it is Hazamada.
Okay,
the lock is Tamami.
I don't like that guy either. It's not even just a stand. It's just him. He's a dick.
He's a dick, but I love that he becomes Koichi's total bitch.
Oh yeah.
That's great. But yeah, nah, Surface. That is actually really irritating because there's people give you the excuse of they can't see this or that in a stand because you can hide your stand and things like that. We can see stands. Our characters can see stands. If we can see the stands and they know that this other Josuke is the stand, how are they not able to distinguish this this giant like screw in his head?
Yeah, exactly.
Because when they like injure his hand or whatever it is that falls off, they specifically see that's the hand that's missing, that's the dummy, so they don't get confused. But you can't tell that there's this giant like screwdriver in this guy's head. Like this giant like screw going through. Like if they would have taken a screwdriver and just put it up to the stand, he could have probably like dismembered it and just beat him like that. Because it's so big. It's so noticeable.
It was a pretty big. Yeah, I am wood. He was pretty big.
Oh my god. Alright. My next one is Chocolate Disco, and I don't even want to debate or talk about this. I have one word for it, and then you can go into your next one. Battleship. That's it. Battleship. You guys don't know it. Part 7. Late game stand. It's after we see D4C, or before we see D4C, before we start that arc that's literally called D4C, and it's like 12 chapters of that shit. Which is actually, one of my favorite parts of Part 7. It's like the longer little last stretch. We see like a lot of Valentine just at once. But they throw Chocolate Disco in there to have Gyro fight, and it's literally Battleship. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going into any more details.
Push on keys, dude.
Battleship.
God.
Battleship.
All right. Ooh, what was my next one?
Yeah, they could have while you're pulling that up, they could have at least like done something innovative. Like if my niggas were playing
No, it
Uno
was
or
just
something,
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like I would have been cooler with
Personal
that. But it was
time.
just Battleship, dude.
Yeah. All right, so I think okay, we the next one was going to be the lock, but we basically okay, so no, I'll skip the lock because we already
Yeah.
same guy Jake thing. Okay, mine was actually the Jankin boy, the rock paper scissors kid, Boys to Men.
Mm.
I really like the name. I really like the name because Boys to Men, I love them. It's cool and all.
Yeah.
But the fact that the stand has to work. The only way the stand works is if you actually play the kid in rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
That's so odd because like the fact is that usually stands have like certain things to where if like you step into their range or whatever, it's like oh it's already working, but you actually have to interact with this kid. It's not like one of those stands that you can just go around using and all. And this kid in specific, it's like my god,
he's an annoying little shit.
He really is, and it's like okay. I could beat the shit out of him. It doesn't matter if it's stand because he's gonna be like, oh, play me in rock paper scissors. I could just straight up fade him, and there's nothing he can do about it. Like, what's this?
He'll just do what he did to Rohan and keep showing up.
Yeah, he just keep bothering me. Just after he just keeps on getting guapped. And then, look, I would have actually just not played rock paper scissors at him at all. Like, you're not gonna win against. You're not gonna win the what is it? The irritating battle, basically.
Yeah.
It's like he's not gonna out irritate me. I'm still gonna guap him no matter what. But yeah.
That arc itself is like really funny because when you look at it and you look at the fight with Kira, it parallels a lot just between Jonkin kid, you know, the Rock Paper Scissors kid, RPS kid, and Kira. Like those two last fights, I guess, since this does go up before the last episode and the anime recap, which will be tomorrow from the day this is uploaded. You guys will see me recap Diamond Break War. Pretty much just gonna go through all the episodes and just give you a quick summary on what goes on. So it's kind of just, you know, a quick brief recap. It'll probably be like a 10-15 minute video because, you know, that'll take a bit longer to do, and I'll talk about that. But the RPS kid fight and the Kira fight actually parallel a lot. There's a couple of similar poses that they do, a couple of things that they say they're similar, and they both have this strong sense of fate and luck being on their side. Like when Jonkin kid stands there with the glass falling in front of his face and, like, you know, none of it hits him, and then like Rohan gets hit and shit. Kira kind of has like a, you know, similar aspect of this, of believing that his fate is perfect and that, you know, nothing can go wrong when that fight starts, and everything does work out for him when the fight starts. They both have these parallels between each other. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but one gets a cool stand, the other one doesn't.
Yeah. One of them can blow people up, and the other one has to play rock paper scissors.
Yeah, exactly. And the person has to be like, they have to win exactly on their side too.
Yeah. All right. Next one is Yo-Yo Ma. Now, people dislike part 6. You know, I guess as much as they dislike part 3. I'm a fan of both. I like part 6 more than I like part 3. Somebody got hurt the other day in the Discord. I'm not gonna name drop or anything, but somebody got hurt because they were like, okay, so when I did my favorite parts video, I ranked my parts, you know, just like for that video or whatever, just so I have like a, you know, a go-to if people ask me. It was pretty much going backwards from 8, so it was 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and then I put 1 and then 2 because I like part 1 more than I like part 2. Part 2 is my least favorite part, you know. So I ordered it like that. But there have been other times where, you know, like we've had like discussions and shit, and I've said that I put 5 and 7 equal. Like, you know, I think they're both like just as good. But what people didn't realize is, you know, when I said my favorite, I'm talking about favorite. I'm not talking about best. If I say, you know, best parts, I'm gonna say like, you know, part 8, part 7. Part 5, part 4, part 6, part 3, 1 and then 2, you know, whatever that order was, because I'll probably forget it if I try to say it again. But I'll order like that, and that'll be, you know, best and favorite. And I emphasized this when I was talking about my favorite villains, which went up the day we're recording this, because, you know, Dio's my favorite villain. Do I think he's the best villain? No. Best does not mean favorite. So when I mentioned that I like part 6 a lot, you know, somebody was like, okay, so you said the part 5 and part 7 are equal, and I was like, yeah, I think they're both, you know, written just as good. And he was like, but you said you like part 6 more than part 5, so that means you like part 6 more than part 7. And I was like, no, you're completely misinterpreting what I said. And then they proceeded to say a bunch of other dumb shit, but, you know, people don't like part 6 for some reason, and I guess Yo-Yo Ma is one of those reasons, because it's a terrible stand. It's this giant green ogre looking thing. You know, old Shrek head ass looking like moss and shit. You know, he's real ugly, and all it does is spit up acid. All right. Now, don't get me wrong. Spitting up acid is like really cool. You know, like we got Mortal Kombat, we have Reptile, right? You know, he's a lizard man that spits acid and shit. All right, that's cool. But Yo-Yo Ma's acid spit is just boring as shit. I guess the time where it happens in, you know, part 6 is kind of boring too, like that little swamp fight and stuff where they have Yo-Yo Ma. I believe Green Baby starts after that. The death of Foo Fighters happens after that. Poochie shows up with, you know, White Snake or whatever, and he disguises it as like weather report and shit. And you know, I guess a lot of people don't like that point, even though that's pretty much about, I'd say, a half point of part 6, and that's when I felt things picked up, just in my opinion. And I like a lot of part 6 things, like we talked about, you know, like a couple minutes ago when I mentioned, what was it, Survivor. But Yo-Yo Ma is just boring. The design is just ugly. His hair was whack. Like his shoes, whack. His stand power, whack. His stand ability, whack. Like everybody else's stands, like, you know, those niggas are tight. You know what I'm saying, but like Yo-Yo Ma is just garbage, dude. Hey, don't blame people for complaining about Yo-Yo Ma, but part 6 is good. Don't crucify me, okay? But Yo-Yo Ma sucks. Yo-Yo Ma sucks. That's a shit stand.
Big ol' man, his fit whack too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Yo-Yo Ma's just whack. That name, like, hey Yo Ma, like, nah, you can go over there. Show ugly ass. Like Yo-Yo Ma was like, you know, that type of guy that'll be like, where my hug at? That's all he was trying to do with Jolene. You know, he was like, where my hug at?
Fuck?
He couldn't get his hug.
Fuck this stand.
Yo-Yo Ma's garbage.
I've actually finished mine. I'm done.
Oh, you did?
That's all my stands. Yep.
Okay, I have 2 more, and I guess I'll bring up just one more, because the other 2, well, I can give a brief synopsis on 2 of them. All right, Soft Machine, similar to Vitamin C, similar to Spice Girl, where it softens things, but what you call it? Soft Machine, its user or whatever, like the stand, kind of looks like a fencer, and it has a rapier, and it has to poke you with the rapier, in order to actually soften you. So, you know, it has a short range for having a sword. It has a short range, and you have to pretty much be close enough and hit the person so that you can actually soften them, or not soften them, deflate, I'm sorry. But you guys get the point. It's deflating people through contact, and, you know, it's so easy to just take out the guy himself and just, like, you know, push him to the side because he can't do shit to you, and his stand can't actually hurt you a lot. Like, he can make, like, small cuts and stuff, but not anything, you know, like a big deal like any other stand where they can, you know, punch ghost you and give you a barrage and, like, break all your bones and shit. This thing is just like, you know, hey, I poked you. Now you're like a balloon. And then there's the Wheel of Fortune, which is literally just a car. That fight was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. You know, when Jotaro and Kakumin did, like, the little, like, sumo thing, and you know, Hierophant Green, like, picked him up, and, you know, they did, like, the little suplex and shit, and then Jotaro did all the rapid punching, and he, you know, he buried himself underground to not be on fire anymore. That shit was weird, but, you know, it's just a car. And it's a really fast car. It's got, like, it's weird shit. It's a car.
That was hella fourth wall though.
Yeah,
when he was just like, oh yes, I'm now gonna be the, what is it?
Oh yeah, he was like, I'm gonna be like the new protagonist or whatever. He's like, I killed the main character or some shit. He was like,
yeah, exactly.
It's just,
Shota was like, oh, you thought you could get rid of me, the main character?
It was really weird and really, like, anime.
What the fuck?
It's so stupid. But the last actual stand I have on here is Tomb of the Boom, part 7 stand. It works through magnetism. It's one of the first stands we see. But the stand itself, and they also do this again in part 7, but the way they do this was kind of, I guess, I don't know, more explainable, since, you know, Tomb of the Boom is shared between family members. And I'm bringing this up because there's the 11 men that have the stand that lets them, you know, come out of each other's, like the back of, like, their head or whatever. So they can shoot you down and shit. Like, you know, as you kill more, then there's less of them, so it becomes less effective.
I forgot the name.
I forgot the name too. But they share a stand, which, you know, is like, okay, people sharing stands now. Araki, what you doing? But Tomb of the Boom was just, it's ugly. It looks like this little, like, purple anteater bitch ass thing, right? It's just ugly. And it's weird. It's like the stand itself isn't interesting. I know it's weird to say that JoJo things are weird, but this stand is just like, it's whack. I don't really have it,
Bizarre.
much else to say about it. It's just whack, and it always threw me off and tripped me out that it was 3 family members. It's like 2 brothers. One of them is like super retarded. The other one is like smart, and there's a sister who's like the smartest of the 3 or some shit, and she's like the most like, you know, level-headed. But they share the stand between each other, and even when they're like ticked off, I believe, like as in like when one of them dies and like the other 2 are left or some shit, they keep the stand. It's like you would think, you know, since one of the people with the stand died, that the stand would also disappear, but because they are sharing the stand, they still have the stand, and you think because they're sharing the stand, since one of them died and the stand also died with them, because you know how that works. When the person dies, you know, the stand dies too. You would think that they would die too, but they don't, and it's weird.
It's a real that isn't. That's pretty odd.
It's dude, that's some game theory shit. that's some game theory shit. That's what that is.
Is this stand whack? Game theory.
Game theory. That might have to be the thumbnail for this video.
Is this stand whack?
I have my Dio is Jesus game theory thumbnail for whenever I decide to sit down and actually make that video. That's gonna be great, but like, this shit is just weird. But anyways, I guess that pretty much wraps us up, guys. Caleb's channel will be in the description below. You guys can, you know, go subscribe to him, and I'll put his Twitter there too, so you guys can go follow him there. Any other things you want to say, Caleb?
Killer Queen is fucking strong as shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You love that nigga, man.
It's pretty great. Damn it, is Unbreakable Anime finishes 2 more days from this being uploaded, because again, we're recording ahead of time, so I have to keep giving myself these mental notes. The anime, you know, overview, I guess summary wrap up thing is gonna go up tomorrow. I don't know what to call it yet. Just a recap. There we go. And then
yeah, basically.
since, you know, these are the last couple days of Kamimas, I guess I'll tell you. Oh, I've been saying this. The 25th, aka Sunday, the podcast goes up, and Christmas Eve, which is gonna be Saturday, the 24th. I'm gonna do a video on my current thoughts on Part 8. I don't know if I'm gonna get anybody else to come on and do that video with me yet. We'll probably sit down, you know, talk about it, theorize and shit. That'll be fun. That'll be great. So you guys know the last couple of days of Kamimas. Thank you guys for being here since the start of Kamimas, even though it's only been, you know, just 13 days. It's gone by so quick. We're already, you know, getting closer and closer. And the days just started going by quick. We're getting close to Christmas. We're getting close to New Year's. I'm getting close to 2,000 subscribers. I made a bet. If I reach 2,000 subscribers before New Year's, I gotta run outside of my boxers in the cold and record it. And there's like a lot of snow outside right now, and I'm not looking forward to that. So that'll be fun. Thank you guys for watching.
Do it in the glasses.
Yeah, I gotta do it with the glasses. It'll be great. But thank you guys for watching. I gotta go edit. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys have any least favorite stands, go ahead and comment down below. I should have said at the beginning of the video. I don't know why I forgot to. It just came to my mind, but go ahead and let us know down below. And like I said, once again, go check out Caleb's channel, and I'll see you guys next time. I forgot to stop recording.